How's it going, everybody? This is Hadrim, and we are going to do some video plays of a new deck I've been trying out recently. And it is going to be this Control Warlock deck that I found when I was doing some research online. I was playing around with a few different ideas, but I realized that it was just kind of hit or miss. So I tried to look up online to see what else everybody else is playing with, and then I found this deck posted by Stan Sifka with an amazing 22-2 win rate with the deck, just over 90, just about 90% win rate, and it's really good. You've got a lot of tools that actually control the board very well, like Defile. You have Hellfire. Tainted Zealot is actually a pretty key card to use with your Defile. And making good use out of this specific card actually really determines how the matchup goes. So if your opponent has a bunch of different minions, you always got to think about, okay, how can I make the best use out of my Defile in order to clear the board for very cheap? And Tainted Zealot really helps you to do that. And you kind of think about how like a stepladder works when you play Defile. So if the total health on the board is with the minions is there's a 2 health minion, there's a 3 health minion, there's a 4 health minion, there's a 6 health minion. You're not going to kill the 6 health minion because there's no 5 health or so minion that will die in order for it to be cast again. So when it kills the 1 health minion, it'll recast, it'll kill the 2 health minion, it'll recast, it'll kill the 3 health minion, and then it'll just keep going until all the minions are dead or no minions die from the effect. And Tainted Zealot acts as kind of like a booster to that, so it gets it started real quick by casting it first for 2 damage, and then it casts again for 2 more damage. So you've already dealt 4 damage to the board, and then Tainted Zealot will die from the second cast, and then it'll cast the 3rd time, which is a total of 5 damage. So that's equal to about Dragonfire Potion. Now, if you still have things surviving after that point, you might want to rethink about playing the card to do that much damage to a board that's not going to get cleared. So you can also amplify effects with that, like Mistress of Mixtures, to guarantee you have that 2 health minion that will die from the effect. And you also have little cheat minions like Happy Ghoul, like Earthen Ring Farseer, and so on and so forth. Dreadlord acts as kind of like that 5 healther just in case you need it, but you're really not looking to clear your own board. You're kind of looking to try to take control of it and do an easy clear for you to make way for your bigger threats. So it acts in that direction. Now this is actually Stan Sifka's list, with the exception of 1 card. I took out the 2nd Dread Infernal, and I put in a Twisting Nether. Odds are that a lot of times you won't have the board state to be able to set up for that kind of clear, and in which case you have to use a lot of very cheap minions very inefficiently to somewhat get a little bit of an advantage. Twisting Nether just kind of resets the board. So you can actually use this proactively to, for some reason, if you can't just kill off everything, you can kill off your own demons, in this case the Dreadlord, Abyssal Enforcer, Dread Infernal, to kind of set up for your Blood Reaver Gul'dan, which is used as the late game push in this deck, because you're constantly doing damage and gaining health at the same time. So you kind of push yourself forward in that way a little bit at a time. And he's probably the best hero to have in the fatigue game. Since there are a lot of times where you actually play against other decks that do actually take you to fatigue, you will win the fatigue game with this hero, since you will always be constantly healing through your fatigue damage, but you're also dealing damage to your opponent. It's a total of about a 6 health difference every single turn, which can be very game-winning in some cases. So when you use the strategy together, you actually come up with a very winnable board state. Getting tempo value out of your Happy Ghouls will actually prove significantly better in those cases where you get the value from, say, like Drained Soul, from Mistress of Mixtures trading, and playing it for 0 early just to get that extra body on the board is actually quite impactful, since you have no other proactive plays. It even just becomes a 3-mana 3/3 in some cases, which isn't going to be useless. It still has a purpose. So I actually think the deck runs pretty well. Thinking about whether or not it requires a little bit more tuning, but right now it's working very well for the meta. It actually has, I have a positive win rate against Jade Druid, and I have a positive win rate against other control decks like Priest and Paladin. However, this is kind of like in the mid-range, about rank 15 of testing, and it is only the second day. So we will see what comes of that, but for now, and I have been having some good success with the deck. So we will get going with that, and my deck tracker is kind of on the fritz at the moment, so we won't be having that. But I did show you the deck strategy. I'm up to rank 13 now, and we're going to play some games.
The light shall bring victory.
Your soul shall be mine.
Well, now this is actually useful for killing off one of their 3 health minions that they usually start off with. Like Northshire Cleric, Radiant Elemental, and then you can just follow up with Happy Ghoul. I might just keep the hand as is. Priests aren't really known for being that aggressive. Let's do that. We'll experiment with that at the same time. Oh, perfect 1-drop, I guess. The question is, do I go ahead and just play it? I think I will just go ahead and play it.
Side effects? No. Trust me.
There is no reason to hold on to a 1-drop, but against Priest, it is a slower matchup.
Is someone injured?
Okay. So I can actually go ahead and Mortal Coil this to get the draw so he doesn't get the value out of it. We'll do that. It's the same as tapping, but I don't get the life value from it, which is fine. I could just tap next turn also. Kill the guy off.
Let the pain speak with me.
The problem is there's better targets to Shadow Bolt and Priest, so he may just end up getting 2 draws out of this. It does look like to be some kind of wonky combo Priest deck. So if I want to tap, trade, and then play the 1/3, he can get 2 draws out of it still that way. I could just Shadow Bolt it, but if he's playing a combo Priest, I do want to save the Shadow Bolt for something later. I could just go ahead and wipe it out now, so he doesn't get any more draw, because if he gets Power Word Shield on it, it could be a very big problem. And I basically have the same kind of effect here. Alright, yeah, he's definitely playing some kind of combo deck. I think I'll go ahead and tap. Yeah, let's go ahead and tempo out here. It's very wasteful, but it seems like he's trying to get to his combo in his deck. So I do want to try to keep pressure up if I can. This thing is going to be really important.
Again.
I wonder if I should go ahead and play one of my Zealots. I think I have enough pressure. If I just let him draw and get off all of his combos, this game may not be winnable. So I want to see if I can get this as soon as possible. Seems odd. Okay, so I can kill off both of these minions with a Drain Soul Hellfire. Or I could just Drain Soul and Defile. Because Drain Soul on this will make it 3 health. So Defile will actually kill everything. Then I guess I just play the other Tainted. No, let's tap first. Okay, I might just end up playing this thing instead, but then that's a very weak play. Because this and Defile still kills everything. I can keep my Drain Soul in case I need it. No, it doesn't kill everything, does it? So that thing will stay. This thing won't die. So I have to get one of these at 3 health before I Defile. So, yeah. Alright, so he is a Kazakus combo deck. He's got that theory. So I wonder if I think I do need to get more resources here. And I do need to get some of these demons to die off. I think I'll just play the Dread Infernal. Well, if I tap, what would I want to get? I would want to get my Despicable Dreadlord if I tap. I think this is just an overall better play. No, I'll hold on to that. Because this is an easy activator for the Defile, like I was mentioning earlier, for my second one. So I might just hold on to that for some good value play here. Wow, turn 7 pass. Alright, so I might just get rid of the Siphon Soul here. So now that I have the Twisting Nether, Siphon Soul may or may not be useful.
The light has betrayed me.
So depending on how many cards he can play in one turn, it could be very meaningful how much he can play out. So I'm just going to tap here because my might be afraid for my life total here in a minute. I think I'll go ahead and play that. So if he can actually play out his entire hand this turn, it's 14 damage he can do to me. Assuming one of them isn't a direct damage effect like a Mind Blast. Which his deck very well may run. So I need to get my hero out as soon as possible.
Shadowy thoughts.
Shadowy thoughts. It's obviously your shadow. Ooh, interesting. I think that's just my Mortal Coils. You hungry, you yummy. Yeah, so that's just my Mortal Coils, and I think that was my only one. So this brings back the Dread Infernal and the Abyssal, so that's fine. I do want to get this thing up as fast as possible. I'm not exactly sure if there was any way for me to die. It's possible, but honestly, there's too much to try to play around. So I want to get the hero power developed as soon as possible, and then I can start doing some recovery. This is kind of a threatening board to deal with at the same time. You can hit this and then Dragon Fire Potion. That's fine, I guess. So he is starting to run out of cards to use for like some easy combos, so I may actually outvalue him a little bit here. So I guess the question is, he has the ability to use his hero power multiple times on a turn, so he can constantly keep my board clear. So in the case that he overextends, I may actually have an advantage with something like Twisting Nether. So I might actually just wait for that. He is playing a Kazakus deck. So I'll just play Earth and Ruin. Make sure it doesn't get too out of hand.
This jungle hides many secrets.
Now we're Fatigue Racing, huh? So I'm looking for a Lich King to try to make some difference here. Sorry about the mic. Good lord. So I can hit that for 3, goes down to 2. Won't kill anything outright. But he can't heal anymore. And I can use my Hellfire to go ahead and take out. Since I have both Defile and Twisting Nether. I can't actually kill it unless I invest a lot, so go ahead and do this. Hellfire's...
I must feed now.
I'll go ahead and play it over. I'm gonna leave it alone. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. But I don't have too much experience with playing against this kind of combo-y deck. Oh, he already got the pack, huh? Well, that's bad. Pretty dead.
Side effects? No. Trust me.
I'll just save that. I have no idea if I'm being too greedy or not, is the problem. It's funny he decided to play that way. Should I go ahead and twisting this board? Because I am getting at low health, so I do need to start doing some differential damage here. So that goes down to 2. I could just defile this. But I don't know what else he's playing as far as whittle me down one step at a time board. So I might just... If I play this and defile, it does actually kill off everything. But then so does twisting. But twisting is more just outplay it. So
I must feed now.
that's It's a lot of resources, though. I think I'll just do this. Use it for just an arcane explosion. This is pretty bad. Because he's playing 2 or 3 cards a turn, it's doing 6 damage to me. If that thing hits me and he gets 3 hero powers off, could be really bad. So he could just have some kind of nuke. Wait for that to. He very well could be running like Mind Blasts in his deck. And I'm the one getting to fatigue first.
Out of my jungle.
Gonna try to guarantee a kill on me, I guess.
I see gold in your future.
What? Tempo? Well, he technically has a lot of lethal on me here. So I guess I have to taunt, huh?
So many bloody decisions.
I don't think there's a way I survive this unless I taunt up.
Warriors of the frozen wastes, rise.
That's probably okay, but it's not fantastic. I'm the one getting into fatigue closer, and he has more damage. That is insane.
Ready for action.
All right. I mean, his strategy was to draw out his combos, and he got it. So, good on him. I did have to use a lot of my resources to get that out of the way, so I wonder if I had played any differently. Could I have changed the outcome of that? I'm thinking back on it, and maybe some of my early removal could have been saved, but honestly, if he had those cards in his hand, he drew the pack right away, which gave him a lot of value, and he probably has other control cards in his deck too. I don't know. That was a hard-fought battle. I'll keep the Dreadlord.
upon a time.
Thief Dragon Priest. The Nightmare. Don't really have a good way to kill that though. Could Lifesteal and then Happy Ghoul Voidwalker, but he's left with a 1/1 and I have a 1/3 and a 3/3. It's not exactly good. Tap and play Voidwalker seems just as good. So he's likely got board control stuff in his hand now. And there's always a possibility he just took one of my hero cards. That's gonna be fun.
It's playtime.
Just outright played that. So I can play this.
So many possibilities.
Could just Shadow Bolt it too. Or I could do nothing at Dreadlord.
So many possibilities.
Yeah, let's do that.
Unleash me. As you command.
I will make that hit though.
We hunger for vengeance.
This is a very common card. Like, even the last priest had this card.
So many possibilities. Unleash me.
So I could either Siphon Soul it, or I can spell damage Shadow Bolt it. And he gets a random dragon.
I wonder.
Siphon Soul allows me to tempo out with Happy Ghoul. Let's do that.
Your soul. It's playtime.
Well, you know, I didn't even consider the fact that it had a damage to it. I could have just Shadow Bolted it without playing the spell damage.
Let reading practice last.
Only a fool rejects the Lich King.
Your soul is mine.
I wonder if I misplayed that. Okay, no, I got the full health value. I think this is okay. So I'm only going to get one out of here since he can have Shadow Word Death. That might be pretty good. His hero could kill both, though. Wow, Kazakus again? It's like a dragon-themed Kazakus deck. I guess because Raza is so good with the hero. You had no idea if I had Frostmourne. I could play this and this to clear his board.
I wonder.
So that's a 4 damage Hellfire. Restore 5 health. Could play that in Defile. And I'll be left with 5 mana. I don't really have much to play for 5 mana. I think I'll just go ahead and do this. It's a better curve play, and it accomplishes the same thing.
The icy winds of Northland will consume your soul.
So lucky there. It is a random dragon. Well, this could be hard. Can I get this down to the point to where Defile will kill it, but not my guy? That's 4. He doesn't really have a way to kill off his own stuff, though. Well, he does have Dragonfire Potion. That's kind of a problem. There's double Shadow Bolt. I think I have to. Because until he has Dragonfire, they're just kind of useless. Of course, he did steal some of my cards, so he could just have something like a Defile just to kill him off. Or Hellfire.
I must consider.
The icy winds of Northland will consume your soul. Tortola, preserve us!
I wonder.
That may have seemed like an easy twisting nether play, but I had to think about what I would do for a follow-up first, because all my cards are very anti-aggro in a way. So playing this control game, I really have to conserve my resources as much as possible.
I wonder.
You wish to live forever.
The Brotherhood shall prevail.
Well, it doesn't say, but that one was one of the legendaries he got, as well as this middle card here. Of course, I could be wrong about this one. It might be this one. Four, 6, and 11.
So many possibilities.
More importantly, that's 13 damage. Well, I can kill off. I have to make the best use out of potion this turn. Defile.
Side effects? No. Trust me. Only a fool rejects the Lich King.
If I Hellfire first, would that have been different? I'm gonna try to save that if I can. Got another Defile, but nothing's at 1 health. And it's not enough to save me at this point.
So many possibilities.
Well, I am kind of up a creek here. These priests are really strong, man.
Many possibilities.
I mean, how would this change the board state at all? I can kill off 1 minion with everything in my hand and set myself at least 10 doing so.
Side effects? No. Trust me.
This is a little bit different. I haven't actually been fighting too many priests against this deck, so it makes me want to reconsider some of these deck choices. Some of these cards.
A game? So kind of you to join me.
possibilities.
Alright, so if I play this, it's 1, 2, 2, 6. If I hit that, it'd be 5, 4, 3. So if I play this, Defile, I can't clear his board.
Of course.
I'm running out of options. Too low to tap, very low on cards. Just to put the nail in the coffin there. Well, that's tremendous. So I'm starting to consider the fact that if there's not that much aggro, if there's a lot of control, the deck actually may not be that fantastic.
You asked for it.
Your soul shall be mine.
Definitely not going to be able to outvalue a Jaina with lifesteal with elementals. I think I might just keep this, even if I don't have anything else. It just kind of evens it out, so. I honestly don't know what type of different mages there are out there. There's a kind of an elemental control mage, and then there's a couple of different secret mage varieties. I wonder if 2 Drain Souls is too much. It's only a 2 mana deal too. In most cases. So the health may or may not be significant. Open the Waygate.
An incredible discovery.
Trying out some simulacrum action, maybe? Discovered secret and another secret. That one was from Babbling Book. So both of these are random secrets.
As you command.
As long as I don't have any minions to play, so I can't trigger that. Don't exactly think this is actually worth saving.
Not a valid.
Oh yeah, you can't go face with that thing.
As you command.
So if it's Potion of Polymorph, it's really bad. If he gets 2 copies of that, it's also kind of bad, but I do have ways of dealing with them. But it does kind of seem like it's either one of those. And the new one also, he gets 2 copies of it in his hand. Gotta play something though. And so it's not that. So it's some kind of spell interaction and maybe ice block. He does seem to be more like a control type.
I wonder.
Another secret.
Unleash me.
Job's done.
Yeah, so those are his two random spells there. Those are both spells he put in his deck. So if it's secrets you put in your deck, barrier and block, right?
Your soul is mine.
You wouldn't actually put Potion of Polymorph in your deck. It's not random since it didn't trigger the quest. This quest was only triggered by the 3 secrets he already played.
Warriors of the frozen wastes.
God, that is so terrible. Alright then. I'm gonna hold it. Alright, so that was intentional.
So many possibilities.
I think we'll go ahead and play this.
A bond forged in blood and shadow.
Fireball was given to him just now. So that was the other secret he put in his deck, so it might be just another barrier. Three. Okay, so he does have a copy of Counterspell. That's fine. I can still just do this.
You command. Your soul is mine.
Try to do that as fast as possible to give him as little time to do his turn, because if he has his combo. Is that another ice block?
Unleash me.
Well played.
Your suffering will be legendary.
My magic will
Well, you either have your combo or you don't.
my magic will tear you apart.
Bloody hellfire.
That's interesting.
I wonder.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
That served no purpose.
Time runs out on me.
Sixteen, 24, 31.
I bring life.
Fear me.
My magic will tear you apart.
Okay, it's like either he had it or he didn't. And you know, 3, 4 ice blocks. You know, we can just ignore that part, right?
Gul'dan versus Garrosh.
Victory or death! Your soul shall be mine!
Perfect. No. Trust me.
The off chance there might be some pirates in here. I don't think you would actually coin that if it wasn't a pirate.
Only a fool rejects the Lich King.
Well, he's got his Reapers. At least one Reaper.
For the scourge.
I feel empty inside.
That's interesting. I haven't played with this card yet.
Only a fool rejects the Lich King. For the scourge.
Probably did that just to get the whirlwind off from his new weapon, right? Yeah.
Unleash me.
Let the pain speak to me.
See, that was a dumb play. You took 4 extra damage for no reason. Because your weapon would have done damage to it regardless. So yeah, you took 4 extra damage for no reason.
I wonder.
I wonder if I can start pressuring him a little more. I don't exactly know what kind of other whirlwind synergy effects you could put in the deck that would actually increase your health other than Armor Smith. I know you just drew 2 weapons. It might have been the other Blood Razor and Fiery Axe.
I feel empty inside.
Let's leave it like that for now. Just drawing a lot of cards. This is for Daddy.
A blade be thirsty.
Seems really bad since I can just get a free trade. Can I can just go ahead and play that this turn, right? Could just Hellfire. If I'm going to do that trade anyway, Hellfire is probably a better play.
So many.
I could play this, Hellfire, and then this. Just to play them both in the same turn. Seems really bad. Just play that Hellfire. Puts it at 1, which is really bad to have against this kind of deck. So you can't just kill off my board here. I am just kind of throwing that into the wind. Into the whirlwind, but it protects a couple damage on my face. He's even at first. You don't have any more weapons. Is this guy like serious right now? So he could have Arcanite Reaper if he's got this thing in his deck.
A bargain forged in blood and shadow.
I live to serve the Lich King.
Yeah, I have an answer for that. You do realize that, let's see, if this thing survives damage, it summons a 2/2. So I could Defile kill it. Because the 2/2s will just keep dying and then this thing will die by itself. But I think I have a better idea.
My hunger grows.
So let's see. Oh, I just missed lethal. Oh well. That's an interesting idea, but I have a counter for that. I did just totally miss lethal. I was too distracted by the board. I mean, he can only gain 2 armor, so. Unless he somehow has like an armor smith kind of like trick play here. That's actually not good enough. Good effect, though. You just killed yourself. Not bad. Not bad at all. Yep, pretty good.